If you heard a roar coming from the South Plains of Lubbock, maybe late Sunday night, early Monday morning, and then into Tuesday, it's probably because of this man. We are joined by the new head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, Coach Joey McGuire. Coach, congratulations on the gig, first and foremost.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It's getting to talk to you and hearing those words come out of your mouth. Man, you know what I think of you and what your whole staff does there. And so, man, it's just incredible to be able to talk to you and saying that head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders, fired up, man.
Well, and, that's a good place to start because, your rise has been pretty swift. It was not long ago that you were turning them horns loose and you were the head coach of the Cedar Hill Longhorns. And now you're the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think there are some people on the outside who may be surprised at how quick the rise has been for you. Has it surprised you how quickly you've risen to this moment?
Yes. I mean, it really has. Not from the standpoint of not being ready or not being prepared, because I mean, I've worked for 3 head coaches and I feel like, well, one's in the Hall of Fame and Robert Woods and, Matt Rule and Dave Aranda at the end of their career, I'm sure they're going to be in Hall of Fames, 2 or 3 of them. So, I've had incredible mentors, and adding on Mac Rhodes and Gina Farmer, the former AD at Cedar Hill, and then Mac at Baylor. So I'm ready, but also understanding that this doesn't happen, very often. And so I take that very serious, and I think I told my wife last night, she was like, Debbie's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, you know me, and you know how driven I am to win and do it the right way. I said, but after last night and the passion with this Texas Tech fan base, I'm like, man, I want to do it even more because they want to do it even more. And man, what a special place to start.
I think that one thing I think is interesting, you were, we've heard a lot about how you're a good fit for Tech. And I kind of want to take that question and turn it on its head. Why is Tech such a good fit for you? Why was this the job that when it came open, you leapt at it and this was the opportunity you wanted to pursue?
Well, I think a couple of reasons. One, we're in the great state of Texas, and that's me through and through. I mean, I wore the Texas flag socks yesterday to make sure they understood that they're getting a full-blown Texan. I think, whenever when you're in a state that you can recruit your own players in that state and win the conference, that's very, very appealing. The second thing, and it could be 1A, 1B, is the administration here and the backing that they are putting behind this program is it's second to none. I think it's going to blow people away whenever everything's said and done and the building that we're going to do. And so they are all in, and so that's so intriguing to be a part of that. And then I have a lot of experience out here in West Texas from the standpoint of, I know it's a joke right now, but my dog literally was born in Lubbock, and my daughter graduated from Lubbock. My best friend played out here. And so every time I've been to West Texas, I had 2 aunts that spent almost their entire life in La Mesa. And so every single time I've been out here, the people out here and the brand of football that's being played out here, it just intrigues me and I wanted to be a part of it. And so I think it's a great fit, definitely for me. And I'm going to make every single day, make sure they know that they made the right choice.
Tuesday at your press conference, you started off by getting out from behind the microphone and yelling Raider power. I think there were maybe some people who don't know you who were surprised by that. I know right. Everyone in this building was not surprised by that. We would have been honestly disappointed if you hadn't done it. And I guess, to me, that speaks to the passion that you bring to that job. And I imagine that's one of the things you wanted to show Tech fans and the Tech brass there at your press conference, is that you are passionate about this job. And this is not a stop, this is a destination for you, right?
Man, you said it 100% right with that last part. I mean, it is, and that was part of the intriguing part too of this job is it's just somewhere that I can be for the rest of my life and build something special with the staff that we're going to bring in, and then the administration. And then Your Honor, I've been a part of that Raider power. I've sat in those stands and seen some incredible games. And when they said Raider, I've been on the other side of the stand saying power. And I knew that was, the calling card. There's a couple calling cards for the Red Raiders, and that was one of them. And I wanted to make sure that they knew I'm one of them. I'm one of them. And so I wanted to start it off like that. And me, one of my buddies that was at the press conference, he actually turned to Kirby and he said, "You're getting about a 4, man. You hadn't seen 10 yet." And so, I'm gonna wake up every day and when my feet hit the ground, I'm gonna be fired up about the Red Raiders.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. There is another side to this, which is the job that you left. You've been at Baylor for the last few years, and of course Matt Rule gave you your break into the college game, and then Dave Aranda, of course, helped kept you on staff and kind of promoted you into the position that you were. You've got deep ties to Baylor too. This hasn't been asked a ton, but how difficult was it to leave Baylor? Because I know that you've got I know you're very close to the folks there.
Right. I'm going to tell you, it was really tough. And you know what I'm going to say? It was really tough leaving those guys. I mean, the way we will recruit here and the way that we recruited there whenever with Matt Rule is we recruited as a staff. And so we were literally, besides 3 kids, I was a part of recruiting every single kid that was there. And I have a relationship with every single one of them. And so it was tough. But I mean, they were so fired up. They were so excited for me because they know me. And especially those older guys, that first signing class that is still there. That's Garrett's signing class, my son's signing class. So those guys were over at the house all the time. And we even had a deeper relationship. So they were really excited because they knew that this was something that I was working towards. And so they were proud for me. And then I cannot say enough about the way Dave Aranda allowed me to leave. And, when he had the biggest smile on his face whenever I came in there and said, "Coach, I'm going to be the next head coach at Texas Tech." And then he said, "Do it ever how you need to do it. Go through this building and say bye." Because I had to go through the academic staff. I had to go through the administration. I went over to the nutrition center and made sure I said bye to all the ladies that, Miss Val, that every single day I'd come in there and she's working the smoothies and everything. And she's fired up to see me. And so got to give them a hug and say bye. So I can't say enough about the way Dave Aranda allowed me to do that.
I know everyone's interested to see what kind of program you're going to build out there at Texas Tech. Are there programs that you want your Texas Tech program to emulate, that you would like them to be like? I mean, everybody wants to be like Alabama, but are there programs out there that you admire, that you'd like your program to emulate?
Well, I want to 100% start out because, our brand is the toughest, hardest working, most competitive team in the country. And, you heard Matt Rule say that. I'm sure you could probably go on, the website with Carolina, and it's going to say that for the NFL, man, I was a part of building that brand there. And so whenever I close my eyes and I start looking at different things, man, I think of the 2019 defense that caused 30 turnovers and 46 sacks and played like their hair's on fire. But I can also go back to 2006 at Cedar Hill, Texas, and that team going 16-0 and close my eyes and see that same defense look the exact same way. So we're going to play with a passion, that hopefully is unmatched. And so whenever you're talking about those programs, it's guys that play great defense. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to play to our strengths. There's been times that I've been a part of teams, and the one that's at Baylor right now that, you're going to run the ball and you're going to pound the ball and you're going to play complementary football. And then I've had times where in 13 and 14, DeMarcus Lodge and those guys, it was air raid all over the place. We were throwing the ball and lighting the scoreboard up. We're going to do both. We're going to have a team that from special teams to offense and defense, we complement each other. And then we want to make sure that we have the smartest football team whenever it comes to football IQ in the country, because we don't want to beat ourselves. We don't want to beat ourselves. And a lot of times teams will lose games before they win games because they beat themselves.
So I know you're building a staff out there at Tech, and you're working on that. I know one name that has come up a lot in conversations that I've had with folks around Tech is Sonny Cumbie, of course, the interim head coach, stuff like that. What have your conversations with him been like? And what are you considering? I don't want to put you on the spot here. Are you considering retaining him for your staff? What is the status of you and Sonny Cumbie?
Well, right now, evaluating the current staff, I've known Sonny for a long time. I know what he means out here in West Texas. He's a Snyder boy, and, he's West Texas through and through. And so we're definitely going to sit down. I talked to him. He was at the press conference yesterday. And so we're going to sit down and talk. And, a lot of people are like, man, this is like crazy. There's 3 games. What do you do? I look at it as a benefit to me versus, a hindrance, because I can slowly build the staff versus, I think there's a lot of times that coaches build the staff so fast and it's not a cohesive staff. There's some toxic moments in that, and it can blow up in your face, and, kind of been a part of that too. And so I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and getting the right people in this building.
You've been very proud of being a high school football coach, of your connection with the THSCA, of being at your core a high school football coach. And I'm interested in do you view yourself as kind of, I think there's some people who look at great high school football coaches across the state and say they're great high school football coaches, and maybe they emphasize high school so much. Do you know what I mean? Say, oh, they're great high school football coaches. Do you feel like you're maybe representing coaches and saying, yeah, we're more than just high school football coaches. We're great football coaches, period?
Well, trust me, I've been in this. I know I haven't been in it long, 5 years, where it's playing against people or coaching with people. But I know there's a lot of high school coaches that can step in right now that are. I've been around some of the best college coaches, and now some of them are in the NFL. But I'll tell you right now, the high school coaches, the best of the best that I've been around, man, they can coach with anybody. He's one of my really good friends, but Lee Wigginton, I'll put him up against anybody at any level, period. And so it's one of those deals that, it's just, I carry that because, one, we're in the great state of Texas playing the greatest football in the country at the high school level. And 2, I believe that, and I've also heard people say, man, I can't believe that's kind of high school. And I was like, well, I'm going to tell you this, in Cedar Hill, Texas, we didn't make those mistakes. So maybe it's college. So it's kind of one of those deals of, I carry that flag. I believe in it, and I'm hoping that I will never forget this. Tell you a quick story. My very first day, I was going to be on the grass in the spring football, and Coach Rule goes, hey, let's go get something to eat. And I said, well, Coach, I'm not through with all my stuff. And he goes, well, man, you're ready. And I go, Coach, when I step on that grass tomorrow, I step on that grass for every single high school coach in this state. And I'm not going to embarrass them. And so when I step in this seat, I step in this seat for every high school coach in this state. And I'm not going to embarrass them.
I know that the high school football playoffs start this week. I know that because every time our app drops for 5 seconds, you text me and say, dude, the app's down. Let me ask you, you're a guy who's had a little bit of success in the high school football playoffs. What advice would you give to high school football coaches heading into the playoffs and high school teams that are heading into do or die situations this week?
Well, the toughest thing is don't look ahead of anything. Anything can happen in the playoffs. It's a 1-game season and you're just trying to get the next week. And so I think that's very important. I think it's very important to respect your opponent, and be focused, kind of what we just said, and be in that moment. But the biggest thing, and I missed this, and I learned this in 2006, and I tell all the coaches, man, enjoy the moment. I was too young to understand that. And so I just was so focused on just everything in front of me. And I wished I would have taken the time to take a deep breath, because there's nothing like it. I mean, people ask me, what do you miss? And man, I miss this Saturday in the playoffs. I mean, literally, there's nothing like it when you're a coach and you can take a team and you've got one game to get another game. Man, that's incredible. That's just incredible.
And finally, Coach, last question for you. Have you ever thrown a tortilla?
I cannot confirm or deny that I've never thrown a tortilla. My best friend played here, so they might have been throwing them in 1989 and 1990 also.
Okay. I'm just making, listen, I'm a journalist. I have to ask the important questions. I know I don't want to put you on the spot. He's Joey McGuire. He's the new head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Coach, congratulations on the new gig. We're so excited to see what you do out there in Lubbock.
Hey, man, thank you so much. I love you guys. Wreck 'em.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.